Good morning. Welcome to Morning Mobility with me, Coach Di. We're going to get a little bit of movement here this morning to wake up your body, wake up your systems, get you feeling a little bit looser and more prepared for what the day is going to throw at you. So thank you for joining me. We're going to need a little bit of space. So as always, just enough space that you can lay down on the ground, stretched head to toe, and we'll be good to go. And that's where we'll begin. We're going to head down onto the floor. And you can do this seated or you can do it laying down. It's your call. But we want to reset your system. So I know you've slept. Hopefully you had a good sleep. Hopefully you're relaxed. But since you've got up, you've been rushing around, maybe working on a few things and getting the kids ready. And now your nervous system is ramped up again. So we want to make sure we have this calming effect on the nervous system, which is going to reduce tension through the body's tissues and allow us to hit greater mobility. So whether you want to lay down flat or sit on your bottom, it's your call. But we're just going to work on our breath. So we're going to shut our eyes completely. And we're just going to take some nice deep breaths. So no specific cadence to begin with. Just try and bring it in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Deep breath in. And out. And just feel the air. It comes in like a wave. So your tummy fills first, then your chest. The oxygen rises all the way up into your brain. And we'll go a little slower. So now take the air in for a count of 5 seconds. Hold for 3. And then out for 8 seconds. So it's coming in for 5. Hold for 3. Out for 8. Just let that body relax, and as you sit or lay there, have a little scan. Start at your head, work your way all the way down to your feet, and just feel each different segment of your body. So around your head and your neck, your shoulders, your back, your hips, your thighs, all the way down into your calves and your feet. Just try and identify those points on your body where maybe you're holding a little bit of tension. And we'll continue with that slow breathing. And as you find and identify those points of tension, with each breath you take in, we fill with the good stuff. And then as you breathe out, actively try and feel those segments of your body relax. Do 3 more breaths. And then you can slowly open your eyes, let your breathing return to normal, and come up here into a seated position. We're going to go into some CARs. So we worked on the CARs last week, the controlled articular rotations. And we're going to start at the ankle. So I just want you to get your thigh into a headlock-like position. Place the other hand on your shin. We're going to pull the toes up. So we're going to get that foot pointing north. And then we're going to go around those 4 points of the compass. Hopefully you can see there, making a big circle with your toes. We're going to go 3 times in each direction. So remember, what goes on at the foot and the ankle affect everything up the chain. So if we're limited in mobility at the ankle specifically, where mobility is the primary requirement, the primary need, your body is going to seek mobility further up the chain. And inevitably that's going to come at the knee, and we don't want an unstable, overly mobile knee, because we know that's going to cause us issues and increased risk of injury. Switch sides when you've done 3 each way. Pull those toes north. And again, work around the 4 points of the compass, as big a circle as you can, 3 times in each direction. So if you did this CARS routine with me last week, or you've picked it up at some point throughout the week, remember what we're trying to do is hit all our currently available range of motion. Mobility is a use it or lose it principle. So if we're not accessing the range of motion that each joint has, eventually we're going to lose it a little bit. So that's good there on the calves. Next, lay down, one leg straight, pull the other leg, thigh towards your chest, and we're just going to drive that heel to the sky. 3-second pause and down. We'll do this one 5 times. Drive the heel to the sky. 3 seconds and release. So again, the stretch there on the hamstring, the back of your leg. Don't overly force it. Yes, push the heel, mild discomfort, and just let that ease over the 3 seconds. This is all we're going to do, is just hit some of the key muscle groups, cut some of the key segments where you may be feeling some tension, and then we're going to get moving into something much more compound, much more dynamic. Good. We're going to come back up. This time lay on your side. We'll do our CARS for the hip as well. So in this side lying position, try and stack and post yourself up onto your shoulder, which creates a little gap between your side and the floor. Just stabilize your position so we're not going to roll and fall forward or back with this one. And if you want, you can get a pillow or something beneath your head. Top leg, go with me. We're going to raise up. So we're going hip flexion. Then we're going to open as wide as we can into external rotation. Next, raise your heel as if to the back of your head. Now I'm getting internal rotation at my hip joint. Create a big circle with the knee, bringing the knees together. And then reverse. Push back, raise as if the heel was coming to the back of your head, open the gate, back to the top, and reach 3 times. So we're coming up, open, lift the heel, big circle, knees together, push back, heel up, open, lift, and down. One more time this side, up, open, fight for more range in each of the positions that we hit. I'm trying to get the articular tissues of the hip joint lubricated effectively so that we can move more effectively and more economically. Switch sides. And that's the way I want you to view these cars. It's lubrication for the main joints of the body where stability, mobility and stability are required. So we're taking that control, that neuromuscular control through our full range of motion. So I'm on my other side now. Same thing. From knees together, push back, heel up, open, lift, and down. Raise it up, hip flexion, hip external rotation, hip internal rotation. Big circle, knees together, push back, hip extension, heel raise, internal rotation, open, external rotation, lift, hip flexion. Just one more time. Raise it up, open, lift, circle together, back, lift, open, raise, and good job. So hip cars, we're going to move it up into a half kneeling position now. Now we've lubricated those hip joints. We're going to do a little bit more mobility, a little bit more stretching in some of the tissues around. So we're going to focus on the hip flexor. If you need to get a little padding on the floor, go ahead and do that. Half kneeling, 90-degree position. I want you to tuck your tail under your body. Maybe you already get a stretch on the hip flexor. If you do, great. If not, we're just going to lunge forward a little. Feel that active stretch. Squeeze the glute, the back, allows the hip flexor at the front to relax. Back away. So we're going to hold it in there for about 5 seconds. We're only going to do it 3 times. Tuck your tail, actively squeeze the glute throughout. Stay on that same side. We're going to do 3 more, but this time with the tail tuck, drive the heel of your hand up to the sky. And then if you need to lunge into it, take your body weight forward a touch. But that heel of your hand is going to extend the line of the fascial tissue along that one side of your body. Reset each time. Tail tuck. That glute may start to get a little tired now, but this is what we want. We want activity. We want an active control over our range and an active stretch. And then just one more. Tail tuck. Heel of your hand if needs. Lunge forward. And now we can switch sides. So we do the same thing. So without the arm to begin with, you set yourself up, 90-90. Tuck your tail. If you're not getting the tail tuck, imagine your hips like a bucket of water. You're going to try and spill some water out to the back of your bucket. So your pelvis tilts. 5 seconds in. And then we can back away. 3 times. Just try and consciously think at this point about your breath a little. Work on air coming in at the nose and out through the mouth. No specific cadence, but just feel like you're filling everything with clean oxygen before letting the bad stuff go. 3 more. This time after tail tuck, again, add that reach. You'll see I'm not going very far. I'm just in a small range of motion. What we don't want to do is jam the hip into the joint. So we don't want to go into this deep stretch feeling where it's actually just damaging some of those tissues. We want tuck and reach. There's enough of a stretch there. Cool. When you've done it 3 times, come over to the wall a little bit. We're going to stay in this half kneeling position. Straight line. You're trying to get a straight line from your head down to that bottom knee. What we're going to do is some shoulder circles on this outside. The wall is there because I want you to actually like push into the wall a little bit. So to create plenty of tension through your body, we're going to lead with the thumb. So the thumb is coming up. Rotate that thumb then in, big circle around the back, and you finish with your knuckles facing into your pocket. And the reason we're in this half kneeling position is the hip flexor on that leg closest to the wall is still getting a little stretch as well, because I want you to keep your tail tucked and your butt nice and tight. We'll do 3 of these big circles, one way, then the other. On the way back, you raise as high as you can before you start to turn the shoulder joint back through. Thumb leads the way, turns in, knuckles facing in, and then they turn back out as you loop to the front. Switch sides, we'll do exactly the same thing. So it's the inside leg that's kneeling down. A little push into the wall, tuck your tail so that inside hip flexor is in a little stretch as well. Thumb leads the way. When you get to that top point, rotate. So I'm internally rotating my shoulder, knuckles facing into your pocket. Rise back up. There's my shoulder extension. Thumb turns back out the other way. Big circle in front. 2 more. You're going to take it slow, like you're fighting through the air, fighting for more and more range at each point. Good stuff. We're going to go back to the other side. This time, I want you to get your legs switched around so your outside knee is down. Your outside hand, I want you to place it across your inside leg, front leg, and then the other arm is going to sweep up and open. So we're rotating through our spine. So I've rotated away from you. Then you're just going to swim back through the middle. Big sweep up and open. And back into the middle. Let's get this one 5 times. So we're rotating through that thoracic spine as much as we can, but we're also still getting the hip flexor, still getting the shoulder involved. 5 reps and then switch. Same thing. So it's the outside knee that's down. Hand comes across your thigh. Big sweep. The closer you can get to the wall with this, the more of a challenge it's going to be to maintain your posture and get through a really good rotation. So if you want to challenge yourself, just move a little closer to the wall. When you've done 5, we can stand it up. Any cushion, anything you lay down, just make sure that's out of the way so you're not going to fall and slide on it now that we're on our feet. So hopefully now you feel a little bit looser. We've targeted some of the key joints there. We've worked ankle, hip, shoulder, thoracic spine. We're going to try and put it all together. We're going to work on maintaining a good base position in a weight shift. So feet shoulder width apart. We go into this base or ready position where your butt is back and your chest is up. What I want you to do then is maintain that good spinal alignment as you shift your weight across to your left leg. So I'm probably about 80% of my weight now is on my left side. So I can raise my right knee and get as tall as possible. When you're in that tall position with your thighs pulled apart, take that right side, stepping it out. So your hips sit back and still maintaining that good spinal alignment. And now with your left hand, shoot across that bent knee. Pull on the top with your right side. From here, middle, back up into that tall position. And then I'm going to go long. So I'm going to push that right heel as far back as I can. If you want to bring your arms out to counterbalance, go ahead and do that. Just hold that position a second before slowly lowering yourself down towards the ground, taking the open side hand to the floor. Shift my position a little so you can see. Drive your elbow to your ankle and then rotate to the sky. So now we're going into our familiar world's greatest stretch. That top hand comes to the outside of the front foot, and then I'm going to shoot my butt back to the wall behind me. Lunge position. Add a little reach and sway over. So now coming up from the hip flexor, maybe you start to feel it in the abdominals as well. Push back to the top, and we're back where we began. A little adjustment there so you can see. And now we do the same thing, but with the left. So we go into the ready position, spinal alignment, shift to your right. So now we're controlling our patterns as well. Grab the left knee, stand tall, drive your head up to the sky, get as big as possible. That left side, step out, hips sit back. Still spinal alignment. With your right hand, shoot your web across. With your left hand, pull at the top. Middle, push back to that single leg tall position. And now push that left heel back into inverted hamstring. Hold it there for a moment before you slowly lower yourself down to the ground and down, elbow in. Big rotation. I'm trying to get straight line from fingertips to fingertips before bringing that top hand outside the front foot, shooting my butt back. Down to the lunge position. Heel of your hand and sway across. Stand up. Back at the beginning again. We're going to alternate sides. We're just going to do 2 more on each side. Go a little bit quicker. Let it flow a little bit more dynamically now. So base, ready position. Shift to your left. Grab your right. Stand tall. Step to your right. Shoot across your right leg. Pull at the top. Middle. Push back. High position. Heel long. Arms out to stabilize if you need. Lower it down. World's greatest stretch. Elbow to ankle. push the ground, rotate to the sky. Bring that hand back to the ground, shoot your butt back, half kneeling, reach and sway, stand up, straight into ready, shift to your right. Left knee grabs, stand high and tall. Step to your left, spinal alignment, shoot across your left, pull at the top, push back to the middle, take it tall before you go long. Step it back, elbow to instep, push and rotate. Straight lines, fingertips to fingertips, hand down, shoot your butt back, knee down, reach and sway, up to the top. One more each side. I'm going to go silent. If you need to follow my movements on the screen, do so. Base. And you can finish up making sure you've done equal on both sides, left and right. Get a total there of 3 on each side. And that's all it is. That's a dynamic flexibility movement flow. It's challenging all planes of motion that the body moves through. So there's movements in there that are linear. There's movements in there that are lateral. And there's rotational movements as well. Those are the 3-dimensional, the 3 planes of motion that our body moves in. We just challenged them all there in that last 5 minutes with one continuous flow movement. There was things we did before to prep some of those key joints to ensure that we were set in a good position to begin with, because our position is always going to alter our pattern. So if we can use the early part of our sessions, not just our mobility sessions, but also our workouts, our exercise sessions, to address our position, that is going to carry over into us having a better pattern. And if our patterns are better, we're going to decrease our risk for injury. We're going to decrease our pain, but then also we're going to have a more stable platform on which to build your performance. Whatever your performance is in your mind, doesn't have to be a sporting endeavor. Maybe your performance is your ability to focus and concentrate on your work, being at your desk for a long period. Maybe it's being able to run around in the garden with your children. Whatever your performance is, we need that foundation to the pyramid of pattern and position. Position, pattern, power. And power is our performance, where we can put our solid movement and load the body to progress in different ways. A little bit of a mouthful, a little bit to finish there, but thank you for joining me here today. Hopefully you got yourself going a little bit. Now we're ready for the day ahead. Everything feels a little smoother. The wheels are greased, so to speak, and you're ready to go. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you back here soon for more EXOS at Home and morning mobility with me, Coach Di.